Everyone's doing okay. Take a look at the disclosure and let's get to it. So I was talking to the Alpha team, and I was also kind of talking to just some people out there. I'm like, how'd you do today? A lot of people thought it was a really hard day based on yesterday's action. I'm like, well, did you keep 25% of your P&L from yesterday? 50%, 75%? How did you do? I'm like, I kind of lost about a little less than a half of what I made yesterday. And most people said they lost 25%, some lost a half, some lost a third. I think if you lost like a third or a quarter of what you made yesterday, that's a win. I think today was a really hard day. I know that you look at the chart of the spies, and you know I think most of us knew the size of this range would be hard to get some like real upside follow through. Although there was some room here, but I don't think anyone really went home long that much. I know for me, I went home long a little spies, a little TSLL, a little Nvidia, and there was really no give. Market opened down and just grinded down, and you tried trading around it, and they took it all the way down to what is this little 509.58? You know, 509.58. They have to take it all the way to 509.58. You know, if they would have taken it to like 525, okay, and rallied it back to 540 or did a few things, I think a lot of people would have had a lot easier day, but they really gave nobody a way out. And now if you look here overall, doesn't look horrible, to be honest, but today showed A, that sellers still have power when they want to, but B, things look fair. It's like neutral. Like I feel like the market's right now neutral. Someone said to me, "Hey, Red Dog, what do you think happens first? Do you think we take out 480, 180, or do we take out 547 first?" At this point, I really don't know. I need to see more, so, and I'm not willing to make big bets. Like I bought some 540 calls for tomorrow just in case. I'm not worried about missing spies gapping up $4 or down $4. Worried about missing big moves like yesterday where we all made a lot of money. But overall, tough day. The Qs did kind of very similar. Qs broke where it would have been easier to hold instead. It had to go lower. So let's take this out of the way now. So this low here is what? This low here is 432. And then this high is what? This high is 455. This gap is over. All in all, inside day, but like a surprise. It's one thing when you open up higher and they give you a way to sell things, and then you pick and choose your battle. But another thing when they kind of trap you and there's nothing you can really do, and then they purge you out to a fact where you couldn't really stay long, and that's to me that's what kind of happened here, which is not fun. They did go from, I guess, if you look at the chart of the spies, they did take it from spies, you know, um, 426 back up for a half a second, like here. They get actually they really didn't. You think about this gap down. What did they really give you? They gave you from, 426ish of your perfect back to a lower high at 531, and then they had to do that. That was tough. I'm sorry. I didn't lose too much, but I lost a little, like a third of yesterday, which is what it is. And if we gap up tomorrow, I'm not going to be that pissed off. Yeah. What did the IWM do? Look how bad that is. It gapped below the midway point and kind of stayed below it. IWM was just broken. Then let's get to stocks. So what stocks are acting special? Tesla was the best in breed yesterday. Was that special? Not really. It didn't hold this 451, kind of gave you another inside day. At this point, it's hard to tell. It's still in the range, but that's really hard. What Amazon do? Same kind of thing. Now you could, I guess, constrict it. That's what you could do now with all these things. You just constrict it. You put what's next? Is it going to get below this or above it? And in actuality, you look at it, it's just like a choppy day from HELL. I got stopped out of TSLL. What Meta do? Yeah, I know you could put this here held a little bit higher. I guess you could say not so bad. What Netflix do? You know, inside day. I'd say Meta and Netflix look pretty much best. Held the majority of it, and at least gave you a tradable move around it. What Apple do? That's good. You know, inside range too. I'll put the prices in there tomorrow. You revenge traded, Zach? That sucks. All right, and then on the other side, so people saying more forgiving on the high growth. You had Palantir. True, looks really good. Looks better than other things. Dash, not as good, but you could make this bigger. You can get rid of this now. Still in there. What did Reddit do? Very inside. So either we get above and or below tomorrow. Still looks okay. App went green for a second. Still looks okay, I guess. Inside day, all things considered, can't be so upset. All right, not so bad. Nvidia, so loose and wide. I don't think it got all the way down here, but I'll do it anyway. Soxel. I made one in Soxel. I did one trade in Soxel. Doesn't look good. Look at this. It gapped in the bottom end of this. That doesn't look great. IBIT. Not bad. I got stopped out at the low of the day. We'll see what it does tomorrow. Yeah, overall it was an inside day. To call a spade a spade. Um, but still, just a hard inside day. You know, it. But then, I guess if you go like this and you look at the range, it's not so bad. Maybe tomorrow's another inside day. Maybe we open and we hold it below, or yeah. PPI. So what are the charts? Anybody else have any other charts you want me to do? Yeah, maybe get a China deal. It'd be kind of cute if we get a China deal after they're floating around getting rid of the ETFs. This is my guy, by the way, Chris. Yeah, for May. All right, so the moral of the story is it's hard to be so neutral. It's really hard to be very, very bullish. It's hard to be very, very bearish. I would be very flexible. There's more than enough opportunities to trade ranges, more than enough opportunities to see little divergences where you could be long or short. We saw them a bunch of times today. And at this point, I really don't have a whole lot on. I will be in the morning to do my morning work. I have to leave the office probably 10:15 to go to Pittsburgh, but we'll see how we're going right now. I know the spies are up a little bit after hours. Doesn't mean we're going to be up huge tomorrow or whatever it is. Yeah, GME, okay. I guess you could say it's acting fair for itself. What Mister do? Inside day. All in all, inside day. Inside day with a crazy big range with a little bit of a little bit of trappy action. So we'll go from there. All right, get some rest. It's Thursday. Have some fun. It's been a week. I think we had a good week. Monday, I made really good money. Tuesday, I gave back a bunch, but we were able to sell that strength. Yesterday was my best day of the week, probably top 5 days ever. Today, I gave back a little bit more than a third, but I don't think we did anything wrong. Came in a little long just in case, and they didn't really give you much giveaway. They didn't let things go green. They didn't let you trade around it, so you had to pick and choose when to get out. And I got out of most of my stuff for 525 in the spies before the spies went all the way down to 510. So if you got it at 510, there was like a higher low at 514 to make a little bit of money. I did a little bit with the Qs on that. But overall, not easy. And, you know, it's great, though. There's going to be lots of big trades, lots of big money trades. People on Monday thought they missed the biggest trade in the world, and then Wednesday happened. There's going to always be another day. As long as you treat each day separately, individually, optimistically, and you approach it with a plan and levels and multiple scenarios, and you keep your mind right, we're just going to keep moving forward. Hopefully, so far your week is great, and let's end it on a good note tomorrow. I'm very flexible for tomorrow. We'll see what happens.